Now at 10, controversy and calls for removal of some city leadership during the Carthage City Council meeting. Plus, Joplin hosts a planning session for the city's downtown area, and hundreds of attendees and companies take in the School of Construction Expo at Pitt State.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Carthage will host a meeting to discuss the possible removal of the city administrator, Greg Dagnon, and consider articles of impeachment against the mayor. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The decision to hold a special meeting to discuss these and other topics was made during last night's City Council meeting, the first for some new Carthage City Council members. The initial motion was proposed by Mayor Pro Tem Alan Snow. According to Snow, the city is currently divided and has, quote, lost trust in the City Hall.
They feel that some of the divide comes from personnel, whether it's elected or hired at City Hall, and they believe that the healing can't begin until we have new leadership in place and to move forward.
There's a group that are unhappy with decisions that the city has made, and they blame the city administrator and myself, and some of them blame the city attorney as well. And you know, that's their, I guess, they have the right to blame who they want.
The City Council also approved a motion declaring no confidence in the leadership of Mayor Dan Reif. For more details, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for our first look at the weather.
It's been a pretty rainy day, but rain has started to clear out of here. Right now, still east of Joplin and most of our eastern counties, we see some showers still sticking around, although in the next hour or so, we'll be clearing completely out of our region. Clouds follow soon after that. Now, the rain that we got is a part of a bigger system with the main severe weather threat that went through Texas and is going through Arkansas right now. However, there was a secondary, stronger system that made its way through the southern states, actually dropped a couple of tornadoes as well. We'll take a look at that in a little bit as well. Now, for the next couple of days, we do go on a warming trend. We have clearer skies and drier air for us for the next few days into the weekend. Next rain chance is not coming around until next week. And tomorrow you can expect some pretty windy conditions as well. And I'll have more details for you in just a bit.
See you soon. Joplin residents and business owners gathered at the Roxy this evening to learn about what's going on and what's planned for the downtown area. Downtown Alliance puts on the Downtown Now event 4 times a year. Tonight's focus zeroed in on streetscaping and laid out design plans for the southern portion of the downtown corridor, one of many projects funded by the city's capital improvement sales tax. Attendees also got the chance to learn about Liberty Utilities' rebate program for businesses and find out how they can replace their existing lighting with LED lights. City of Joplin announces plans to revitalize Ewart Park thanks to voters renewing that quarter-cent parks and stormwater sales tax. Those plans include developing a new splash park, which the city says would be a state-of-the-art seasonal park to replace the aquatic center. It would feature water areas during the summer and an ice skating ribbon during the winter. They also plan to add a new playground, multi-use basketball court, and amphitheater. You can check out the designs through a virtual open house on our website. Big celebration. Solution Tree today gave the Carthage Intermediate Center a celebration box containing a flag and certificate of recognition. That was to recognize the center for achievements in enhancing student learning. Solution Tree is a company that provides training and published materials for educators.
This is amazing. This is exactly what we want to see for our model schools. We want to see students engaged in their learning, student taking ownership, teachers engaged in the work as well, and showing that they truly care about their students' learning.
The Intermediate Center is one of 44 schools receiving those boxes. Pitt State's Kansas Technology Center today hosted its School of Construction Expo. The expo began in 2013 as a single company providing an opportunity for PSU construction students to experience equipment they might see in their careers. 2 years ago, it expanded to include interior design and electrical technology exhibits and vendors.
A lot of construction companies do design build work. And so that means you as the owner comes and talks to us and, we'd like a 6-story building. Here's what we're going to put in there, what we need. We don't have any idea what we want to do. So we have to work with interior design folks to develop the plans and the estimates for them.
That event has grown in recent years to include as many as 800 attendees and 100 companies. The Hive Coffee Shop in Fredonia, Kansas is celebrating 5 years of business. The high school student-operated business made its grand opening in 2019 and has since become a staple in the community. For some students, the past 5 years have created memories and taught them lessons that they'll carry into their future.
Probably the biggest thing would be like, no matter what somebody's going through, you should always greet them at the door, because it could be anybody's last day, and just one smile, wave, hello, good morning, knowing their name, knowing what they like to drink, could change somebody's life.
The shop celebrated its 5th anniversary with discounts on food and drinks, along with live music. A Sarcoxie resident made a surprise discovery: a large swarm of bees on a fire hydrant. Police contacted Jared Malcolm, who keeps bees as a hobby. Malcolm was able to locate the queen in the swarm, and all other bees followed it into a transport box. If you experience a bee swarm, you can contact the Joplin Area Beekeeping Association. Just go to our website, koamnewsnow.com, for contact information. Some major moves up in the latest coaches polls for a couple of local schools. John's going to have details on the national rankings for Pitt State and Missouri Southern later in sports. But first, the Pittsburgh Police Department serves and protects the community with a car seat check lane.
From the moment
prosecutors in Neosho, Missouri file a statutory rape charge against a Neosho school employee. Authorities say Jacob Oakes sexually assaulted a minor several times from 2021 to this year. He has not been arrested, as the warrant in the case includes a $5,000 code bond. Oakes is listed as a counselor at South Elementary School on the Neosho School District's website, though the district says he was put on leave when they became aware of the allegations. Arizona House Republicans halted Democrats' efforts to repeal an 1864 abortion rule that would bring a near total ban to the state. The Arizona Supreme Court ruled that law can take effect in a decision that overrides Arizona's current abortion ban at 15 weeks into a pregnancy. Christian Benavides has the latest.
Former President Donald Trump said an Arizona law that criminalizes nearly all abortions goes too far.
And I'm sure that the governor and everybody else are going to bring it back into reason, and that will be taken care of, I think, very quickly.
Trump also defended the U.S. Supreme Court's 2021 ruling overturning Roe v. Wade, clearing states to ban or restrict abortion. President Biden, who has vowed to restore Roe v. Wade, was asked today what his message is to Arizonans.
Elect me. I'm in the 20th century, 21st century.
The remarks come the day after Arizona's Supreme Court found that officials may enforce an 1864 law criminalizing all abortions except when a woman's life is at stake. The law provides no exceptions for rape or incest.
This is a devastating decision that will have huge consequences, and I immediately called on our legislature to repeal this ban.
On Wednesday, the GOP-controlled Arizona House quickly gavelled out of session after lawmakers attempted to repeal the controversial abortion law. Democrats, aided by one GOP lawmaker, were stopped by the Republican majority. Arizona's law could go into effect this summer, forcing patients to travel to neighboring states with less restrictive laws. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
A lower court in Arizona will review the abortion law's constitutionality. Meanwhile, Planned Parenthood says it's going to continue to provide abortion services in the state up to 15 weeks, quote, for a short period of time. Missouri Governor Mike Parson announces $5 million in grants to fund equipment upgrades for law enforcement, fire service, and EMS providers all across the state. The Missouri Department of Public Safety approved 70 grants for providers to buy new equipment, including patrol vehicles, body cameras, ambulances, radios, and more. Pittsburgh Police Department today conducted a car seat check lane event. Members of the Rotary Club and Community Health Center were also on hand to help. Parents could also talk to family response advocates about their program, and technicians inspected the safety of the child seats.
Really, there is no difference between using the seatbelt or the lower anchors. It really is to the preference of the parents and, again, the height and weight of the child.
The event was part of the Week of the Young Child. Women using the ride-share service Uber now have more safety options. Uber says it's added 4 new safety features to the app, including PIN verification to make sure riders are getting in the correct car. There's also a ride check feature that alerts riders if a driver goes off course, an audio recording feature in the app to record the trip. Riders can also share their trip with a friend or family member for an added layer of protection. A little bit later, a standout high school senior athlete signs to stay in Southeast Kansas. John's going to have that story coming up in sports.
Rain clears out and we're finally headed into drier weather this weekend. I'll have more details right after the break.
Sponsored in the park, April.
Well, rain's starting to rotate out to the east. However, we did have a lot of days with pretty dreary conditions and rainy conditions. Taking a look at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort camera, you can see it's still pretty wet out there as well. And we've gotten a lot of rainfall. Most of the region, most of the southern counties just got half an inch to about 1.5 inches. Now, north of Joplin got about nearly 3 inches. So there may be some localized flooding there. It was good for us. We all needed the rain for our region, especially with drought conditions. Now, still some showers in our eastern counties, although will quickly make their way off out of our region. Main system went south of us through Arkansas right now, continuing to drop heavy amounts of rain. And there was another significant storm that went through the southern states, dropped a tornado out in Houston, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Luckily, it went through the southern states, not through our 4 states. We do have a warming trend into the weekend, not starting tomorrow. However, we're only getting up to the mid to lower 60s. Winds do pick up. They start gusting up to about 30-35 miles per hour, although standard will be 15 to 20 miles per hour. And we're going to start to see those wind gusts pick up pretty early. This is 6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll see wind gusts 30, 31 in Pittsburgh, 33 in the 8 Center. So pretty fast winds. Those continue on through the day. This is 1 p.m. on Thursday, still gusting. Some of the southern counties only 29 miles per hour, but still pretty fast winds. Normally this would give us a cause for concern for fire weather. However, we got a lot of rainfall, so anywhere that had heavy amounts of rain accumulation may not see as elevated fire conditions, but some of those counties that didn't get any rainfall, with temperatures getting warmer and drier conditions after all of this rain that we got, in addition to the days that we're going to have windy conditions, may be experiencing elevated fire weather. Now, this is going to be a concern since we do have the ridge forming over our area. That brings us a high pressure system, which means we're going to have sinking air and it's going to be calmer and warmer. So that's why we're expecting that warming trend. Starting this weekend, temperatures getting up into the 80s. We have a cloudy day on Saturday and another windy day on Saturday as well. That'll be our next day of elevated fire conditions. Now you can see temperatures getting up to the 80s. Sunday, it's going to be pretty hot, 84. Pretty sunny all day long as well. Clouds move in on Monday, and we have our next chance of severe thunderstorms coming in early on Tuesday. Those continue on through the week. Now, luckily for the next few days and into the weekend, we've got pretty nice weather, some windy days, some cloudy days, but temperatures in the 70s on Friday and 80s throughout the weekend. After we get that rain next week, we will start to cool down quite a lot by next weekend. Maybe we will see temperatures back into the 50s.
So it's a bit of everything in the forecast, I guess.
It's been like that for a couple of weeks now, actually.
That's what you call spring in the forest.
That is exactly what it is.
Thanks, Lindsay. Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about today's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. How do you get it? Well, it's really simple. You can download it right now. You can use the QR code you see on your screen. The result is you'll get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, and it won't cost you a thing. It's the KOIM Skywatch weather app. More than 30 million Americans are in the path of severe and dangerous storms all across the South. Thunderstorms, torrential rains, life-threatening flooding, and tornadoes are impacting states from Texas to South Carolina. Mark Strassman has more.
Wow! As many as 3 tornadoes may have touched down in and around Slidell, Louisiana. Oh! Wind gusts of up to 110 miles per hour tore through the city, just north of New Orleans.
They came through fast and did a lot of damage, and it left fast.
About 50 people needed rescuing after winds sheared the roof off an apartment building.
And it happened really fast. While we were trying to pack a few things, my ceiling caved in, his ceilings caved in.
The damage is unbelievable.
Officials in St. Tammany Parish reported the impact was catastrophic and extensive, with more than 100 buildings damaged.
This storm was no joke. It's something that we haven't seen here in Slidell in a very long time.
Flash flooding in New Orleans swelled roads, overwhelming drivers, and marooning vehicles. As the storm moved east, this was the scene on I-10 in Mobile, Alabama. Water everywhere, flooding highways and causeways. It's the same storm system that lit up the sky overnight and brought heavy rain and hail to East Texas. In Port Arthur, a tornado flattened this church, and another shredded this strip mall outside Houston. More than a foot of rain fell in some parts of the state, and in Dallas, a month's worth of rain fell in just 3 hours. 1 death from the storm has been reported in Mississippi outside Jackson, where the storm churned a swath of downed trees and power lines.
Still ahead, the Royals and Cardinals both try to continue their winning ways. And a Labette County basketball player signs with Fort Scott Community College. Don Dales has those stories and more coming up next.
A high school basketball standout from Southeast Kansas signs a commitment today in front of friends and family, which ensures he'll stay in the area, but as a college basketball player. Xavier Phillips, who's a 6'4" combo senior guard at Labette County High School, signs his letter of intent. He commits to Fort Scott Community College. The future Greyhound is excited about the opportunity to grow his game and to grow as a person.
I went out and watched a couple games, and I felt like I fit their play style the best, and just the coach, we just fit really well together, and I think it just was good, the best fit. I'm just looking to forward to how much I'm going to improve over just 1 year, and just looking forward to bonding with a bunch of teammates.
Pittsburgh State softball off until the weekend, but moves up in this week's Top 25 Coaches Poll. The Gorillas are now the number 9 team in the country. This comes after they've won 6 games in a row. PSU has a Top 25 showdown on the horizon. The Gorillas play 23rd ranked Washburn in a road doubleheader. That's on Friday night. And we've got another local team in the top 10, but for baseball, Missouri Southern moves up to number 8 in today's coaches poll. Lions trade place with Ashland, who was ranked 8 last week. Now they're in the 9th spot behind Southern. MSSU lost on the road to Rogers State yesterday. The Lions play 3 more road games this weekend at Northeastern State. Over to Major League Baseball, the Royals and Cardinals both coming off wins last night. Each of them try to replicate that today. Rainy day at Busch Stadium. Cardinals down by 1 in the 2nd inning until Brendan Donovan hits a solo home run to right field. That ties the game. We're still tied into the 6th when Brandon Marsh goes the other way into left field. That's an RBI single off Andre Palante. Phillies open up a 4-2 lead. Bottom 8 now, same score. Take a look at this play. Victor Scott II looks like he's got an infield single, but the Phillies throw over to first. They tag him out, and he is out. As we'll show you on the replay, that's because he took that half step towards second base, which puts him back in play as a runner, and the Cardinals cannot catch a break Last chance for them in the 9th inning. Runner on first base, Jordan Walker, grounds into a game-ending double play. Cardinals lose the series to Philly, 2-1. Elsewhere, the Royals win big over the Astros, 11-2 final score. Seth Lugo picks up his 2nd win of the year. He goes 6 innings. He only allowed 2 runs. Kansas City goes for the series sweep tomorrow afternoon. Then in the NBA, the Thunder win their 3rd game in a row tonight, 127-89 over the Spurs. 4 different players score in double figures for OKC. Josh Giddey leads the way. He had a double-double on 20 points and 12 rebounds. Back to the Royals, though, really good start that they're off to. It's the first time since 2016 that they start 8-4 through their first 12 games.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's hope they can keep it up. We'll see. We'll be right back.
Heritage Track, right?
Well, we now know the question everybody wants answered. We know when Whataburger is going to open in Joplin. The sign in front of the restaurant says it right there. Opening date, May 13th. It's at 2014 South Rangeline. They also hosted open interviews there today. Another Whataburger location is going up in Webb City. Crews laid asphalt there Friday. It's not clear when that location is going to open. I've never had a Whataburger. What about you?
No, I have not either.
Never.
I have. They had one back in Memphis.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It was pretty good. Oh, yeah. Open 24 hours?
It gets, Patrick Mahomes famously loves his Whataburgers, and since this is Mahomes country, I guess they have a built-in sponsor. Why not open a restaurant?
Definitely.
The weather.
Rain clears out tonight. Tomorrow's going to be pretty windy, and then we go on a warming trend through the weekend, getting up to the 80s. So not too bad.
Yeah. Final sports notes.
Tomorrow, Abby Beeman from Frontenac Softball signs her letter of intent. We'll hear more from her tomorrow.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
Captioning on